we kind of, I suppose we try to lead on this in the field very much, is we have silent sessions, whereas the client doesn't actually have to answer. We just ask them the questions and they nod when they're ready for the next question. That's very effective with people who are just hostile to the whole idea of talking about their difficulties. And I think it's also important that we do say, for instance, to a client who's perhaps gone through extreme trauma, we might say to them, tell us how much you think we need to know in order to be able to help you move forward. So we don't then inadvertently stress how important the past is, because if we start asking about the past, then we inadvertently are saying that it's very important. So we always give clients the opportunity to tell us how much they need to know, we need to know about the past. And one other thing that I heard once a couple of years ago, and I thought was very powerful, this woman said, there's nothing wrong with looking at the past, I just must learn not to stare. And I thought that's very profound, and I think and so I say that all the time now. I think that's very profound, a very important thing.
Eileen, can you tell me what's the difference between solution-focused brief therapy and just positive thinking?
Oh, I love that question actually, because if you don't know anything about solution-focused brief therapy, and people think, is it just about positive thinking? It isn't at all. It's a creative language and just a creative way of working that gets people to think differently. Positive thinking, I have to say I'm not very good at positive thinking. Always seeing the bright side of things. No, that doesn't come naturally to me. But the language of solution-focused is about getting people to think differently. And because somebody has to focus on an exception, because the client never will. Somebody has to be curious about their strengths and their coping strategies, because the client never will be. And somebody has got to be curious about preferred futures, because the client never will be, because they're stuck in the problem. So it really isn't about positive thinking. I won't even say it's much more than that, because it's not even aligned to that. It's much more powerful than just thinking positively, because that doesn't you can't sustain that, and you'd have no friends anyway. And if you think about it, people say sometimes, well, we can't ignore the problem, this child won't attend school. And I always say, okay, so how long have you been working with the problem and discussing the problem with the child? Oh, well, 3 months and there's been no move on. So I said, well, if that was going to work, it would have worked by now. Yeah. So what have you got to lose? Maybe just talking about times that one day maybe when he made an effort to attend. Maybe that might give you something more than, but if it works, I always say, look, if it works, keep doing it. Talk about the problem. If you say to a child, look, you're not going to school, and you must go to school. If they say, oh, why didn't somebody say, I'll go to school straight away? Then, keep doing that. Yeah. That's, I suppose, would be my answer. Okay, now I will scale you. Scale of 1 to 10. 1 is, well, the lunch was nice. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to be using this now. And 10 is, I've got some extra tools. And it's not rocket science. There is no reason why I can't use this in my work. Have I got any 1s? Oh, sorry. Have I got any 10s? Oh, lovely. I'll go out while the going is good.